Okay, I think we are live. Awesome. Hello, world. Welcome to another edition of Mr. FLIXTER Show. I'm your host, of course, Mr. FLIXTER, and I'm excited because tonight I have a brand new 2026 movie review for Solo Mio, which begs the question, what's the honeymoon without your honey? But before we get to that, I got a few birthdays that I want to talk about. There's a death that I want to make a quick note about. And, of course, the weekend box office update. So, let's get to it, shall we? Live from Niagara Falls, it's Mr. FLIXTER Show on Saturday night. Let's try that again. Take two. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on my video. Hello, world. I'm Chris Maitini, aka Mr. FLIXTER. Mr. FLIXTER. I'm back. Okay. So let me just share the screen and we can talk about these birthdays. And then there's a lot going on in the box office. There's a lot to talk about tonight. Here we go. IMDb. Okay. The first birthday that I would like to discuss is Kurt Russell, a man who needs no introduction. Let's just get his picture up here. There it is. Great picture. Good headshot. Kurt Russell was born on March 17th, 1951, in Springfield, Massachusetts. He's 75 years old. Happy birthday, Kurt Russell. And he's got a lot of legendary roles. Go away. I'm not sponsored. Okay. So let's go and take a look. He's got 110 acting credits. Wow. Okay, his most recent show, something called The Madison. I'm not familiar with that one. It's new this year. He's been in 6 episodes. That's cool. And he's in the Monarch show. I haven't seen that, but I've heard mixed things about it. If you're not familiar, that's a show about basically King Kong versus Godzilla. And then, well, that's right, he was in the Smurfs movie from last year. Awful movie, but it was fun to have him in it. That actually made my worst of the year list. Also, he's been in the Fast and the Furious movies. I guess he wasn't in 10. He didn't miss much. But yeah, he's in a lot of them. We'll see them as we go. He was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's in the Christmas Chronicles movies too. This is the second one that came out in 2020. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was 2019. This is the first Christmas Chronicles, 2018. And then, of course, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. He played Ego, 2017. Oh, there's another Fast and the Furious. He plays Mr. Nobody. Oh, yeah, he's in The Hateful Eight. He's really good in that, too. 2015. And Bone Tomahawk. That's a good movie. 2015 as well. Furious 7, we got another one. I think that was the first one he was in. He might have been in 6. We'll see. I can't remember. They all kind of blend together. Let's see, these I haven't heard of. Death Proof was good, 2007. Grindhouse, yeah, also 2007. Technically the same movie. Oh, that's right. He was in Poseidon, 2006. That was the remake of the Poseidon Adventure. And then there's Sky High, 2005. Highly underrated film. What else is here? Oh yeah, he was in Vanilla Sky. I haven't seen that in a long time. 2001. We'll get to that one. That's not the original. Okay. 3000 Miles to Graceland, 2001. Let's see, there's Escape from LA. Of course, that's the sequel to Escape from New York. This one came out in 1996. He's in Stargate, one of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time, 1994. Oh, I didn't know he was in Forrest Gump. He was uncredited. That's why. 1994. And he was in Tombstone. It's another one of my favorite movies of all time. Great Western. 1993. He plays Wyatt Earp. And there's Captain Ron. That's a good movie. 1992. I used to watch that with my sister a lot. And then Backdraft. That's a classic. 1991. Tango and Cash. That's right. He was Cash. 89. And then another one of my personal favorites. Overboard. My girlfriend and I enjoy this one. 1987. Then, of course, there's Big Trouble in Little China. 1986. Let's see. What else? One of my favorite horror movies of all time, The Thing, 1982. If I missed anything, please leave comments below. My apologies. There's Escape from New York, 81. Let's see, what else is here? Oh, he was in the original Hawaii Five-0 for one episode, 1977. That's cool. Let's see, what else? What stands out? The Deadly Tower from 1975. There was Gunsmoke. That was a TV show. He was in 2 episodes from 1964 to 1974. Let's see. There's Fool's Parade, sorry, 1971. Oh, too fast. I should scroll back up. Okay, let's see. Does anything else stand out? There's so many. Just some of these I haven't heard of before. Oh, he was in the original Fugitive TV show. That's cool. 1964 to 1966, 2 episodes. And then FBI, 1966 for 1 episode. And he was in the original Lost in Space TV show. That's cool. I didn't know that. For 1 episode, 1966. And apparently he was in an episode of Gilligan's Island. I didn't know that. That's cool. 1965. Great classic sitcom. Okay, so it looks like his first job was Dennis the Menace, the show. 1962 for 1 episode. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's why it's fun to look at the people's careers on IMDb. What was his first movie? It looks like it's Guns of Steel. Oh, no. It happened at the World's Fair, 1963. I almost missed it. Yeah, these are shows. Okay, yeah. It happens at the World's Fair, 1963. That's awesome. Let's get back to his picture. Here we go. Happy birthday, Kurt Russell.
75.
Oh, what's going on? There we go. Hopefully you keep making movies until you literally can't anymore.
He needs to do another movie with Goldie Hawn again.
Okay. So, the next birthday is Mark Boone Jr. Here he is. So let's get a picture. Here we go. He was born on March 17th, 1955, in Cincinnati, Ohio. He's 71. That's cool. I used to live in Cincinnati. I lived there for like 8 years. All right, so he's probably most well known for his role in Sons of Anarchy, of course. But he's been in a bunch of other stuff. He's been in some really cool horror movies too. Watch out, go away. I'm not sponsored.
How many credits?
I'm not there yet. Let's see. How many credits indeed? He's got 165 acting credits.
Wow.
Whoa. All right, let's get to it. Okay, so his latest thing was Vampires of the Velvet Lounge. I'm guessing that's a movie? 2026. I'm not familiar with that one. Then there's I'm Beginning to See the Light was last year. Same with Odessa. Okay, what else is here? So I mean, he's in stuff. He's not just in the one show. I didn't realize that many things. That's right. He was in The Mandalorian for one episode in 2019. Let's see what else is here. Let's see what stands out. Fortunately, a lot of these I haven't heard of before. So if anything stands out to you in the comments, please let me know. There's Sons of Anarchy. I was hoping I could say some things before that, but that's okay. Here we are. He was in 92 episodes. The show ran from 2008 to 2014. And I guess he's not in that other show, the Mayan one, because I didn't see it up here. So I haven't seen the Mayan show, so I don't know. But he's great in Sons of Anarchy.
That's a takeoff.
Yeah, it's a spinoff. So no, I don't see it. Okay. We're in 2024. Okay,
Elementary?
Cool. Yeah, that was a modern version of Sherlock Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
He was in one episode of Elementary in 2017. I wasn't really a fan of that version, though. So let's see, what else is here? Oh, he was in Law and Order for one episode, Special Victims Unit, 2014. Let's see, what else is here? Oh, that's right, he was in the Halloween 2. I almost said remake, but it's not really a remake. But that's the Rob Zombie sequel, 2009. Like to the Rob Zombie remake. I forgot it was in that. Let's see, what else is in here? He was in Vice in 2008. Oh, that's what I was looking for. 30 Days a Night, 2007. Highly recommend that one. It's awesome. Let's see, what else is here? Oh, he was in Batman Begins, that's right, 2005. He was in the show Carnival for 2 episodes, 2005. Let's see. What else stands out? Oh, he was in Too Fast, Too Furious. I forgot about that in 2003. Okay, let's see. He was in Curb Your Enthusiasm for one episode, 2001. He was in Get Carter in 2000. He was in Memento. That's right, 2000. Doesn't even seem like some of these movies came out so long ago. He was in The General's Daughter with John Travolta, 1999. He was in the war movie The Thin Red Line, 1998. Oh yeah, he was in I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, 1998. And oh, he was in Armageddon, and also 1998. So it says uncredited, but he's still in the movie. That counts. He was in the Rosewood, 1997. We're in the 90s now. Well, that's right. He's in Seven, 1995. Great horror movie. Let's see what else. Whoa, he was in The Adventures of Pete and Pete for one episode. That's awesome. I used to watch that as a kid.
The Quick and the Dead.
1992. And then
He was in The Quick and the Dead.
he's also in The Quick and the Dead. I can't believe I missed that one. I love that one. 1995. Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's see, where was I? He was in Of Mice and Men, 1992. I believe that's the Gary Sinise version. He was in Seinfeld for one episode in 1992. And he was in The Wonder Years for one episode in 1991.
Paint Job. Did you ever see that one?
No, The Paint Job was in 1992. I haven't seen that one.
I've heard about it, but I've never seen it.
Okay.
Wonder Years.
Yes. And then he was in Quantum Leap in 1990 for one episode. Wow. And Law and Order for one episode in 1990 as well. And he was in Die Hard 2. That's right. Highly underrated sequel in 1990.
Eventually, we will be doing a Die Hard episode.
Oh, yes. Many, many Die Hard episodes. I love Die Hard. I can do so many episodes about Die Hard. Let's see. Back to the topic. What else is here? Okay, it looks like his first job was Empty Suitcases in 1980. There's so much. Like I said, if there's anything I missed, I'll even go a little slower back up the credits. Please inform me. And then if I haven't seen it, I'll try to watch it because I'm all for content that's new to me. I always love watching new movies and shows. Well, I'll give them a shot at least. I'll watch anything. This is a long list. Here we go. Oh, look, there we go. I didn't mention that one. John Carpenter's Vampires in 1998. Good one. Here we go. We're getting closer now. We're in the 2000s. Yeah, this one's annoying. Oh, okay. The dog shifted the table, but it's fine.
It scared me out of my lips.
Yeah, he just scared me. Okay, we're getting closer to the top. So yeah, just let me know if there's anything that you see. We can talk about it. He's one of those actors that's not usually the main character. He's one of the side characters, but it's like, oh, that guy. I know him. I've seen him in things.
Fully Loaded?
I'm not sure what Fully Loaded is.
That wouldn't be the Herbie Fully Loaded with Lindsay Lohan, would it?
No.
I was going to say, I didn't recognize him in there.
Yeah. Okay, that's it. That's the list. So let's go to his picture. If it loads.
You're not allowed.
There we go. Happy birthday, Mark Boone Jr.
Happy birthday, Mark Boone Jr.
Okay, I just want to make sure everything's still going smooth. Is there any comments?
Nope.
No comments or anything. Okay, cool. Okay, back. Okay, I got one more birthday. And then there's a notable death that I'm sad to report, but I gotta talk about it. Okay, the next birthday is Matthew Broderick. Oh my god, I can't spell. Okay. Matthew, try this again. Something's still not right. What did I do wrong there? Did I put 3 T's? No. Matthew. I don't know what's going on there. Matthew Broderick. Broderick. I'm not sure I spelled it right. I don't think I spelled that right. There we go. No. That's okay.
Broderick.
That's okay. We still got there. I'm a terrible speller. All right, let's get his picture up. So, Matthew Broderick was born March 21st, 1962, in Manhattan, New York City, New York. He just turned 64.
He's 64 today.
Yep, 64 today.
He shares a birthday with my mom.
Oh, yeah, shares a birthday with my girlfriend's mom. Just in case you can't hear her. She's just off camera. She's kind of camera shy. She doesn't always like being on camera. Here we go. Go away. I'm not sponsored. Nothing wrong with that. Sometimes she appears. Sometimes she doesn't. I'm just always welcome to have her on the show. So let's get back to Matthew Broderick. He's in one of my all-time favorite Disney movies, but we'll get to that. Okay, he's got 90 acting credits. Wow. Impressive. Okay, his most recent show was Adventure Time, Fiona and Cake for 5 episodes. He's a voice actor in that one. That's cool. And he's also in the Elsbeth show in 2005 for 1 episode. And he's also in the show Only Murders in the Building for 2 episodes in 2023. He's also in the movie No Hard Feelings from 2023. That was a good movie. Let's see. He was in Rick and Morty for 1 episode as a talking cat. Apparently, that's hilarious. 2019. And he hosted SNL in 2019. That's cool. Let's see what else. He was in Wonder Park in 2019. He was in 4 episodes of The Conners from 2018 to 2019. Well, that's right. He was in A Christmas Story Live, 2017. And then he's in 2 episodes of BoJack Horseman, 2017. What else has Matthew Broderick been in? He's in Manchester by the Sea, 2016. Let's see. Oh, he was in Modern Family for an episode in 2012. And 30 Rock for 2 episodes from 2008 to 2012. So let's see, what else? Let's see. Oh, he was in A Tales of Despero. That's right, he did play Despero. I forgot about that. 2008. That's an underrated animated film. And he was in B Movie, yeah. 2007. He was in Deck the Halls too. That's a pretty good Christmas movie, 2006. And he was in The Producers. I love that musical, 2005. That's a hilarious Mel Brooks musical. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And of course, he's in The Stepford Wives, 2004. And he's in The Lion King 1.5, 2004. The original is what I was referring to for the Disney movie, but we'll get to that. Oh yeah, he was in the remake of The Music Man in 2003. I love that musical. That's really good. Another one I highly recommend. He's really good in that one too. That's what the Simpsons episode about the monorail is making fun of. Like it's a spoof of that musical. It's hilarious. I love it. And then he was in Election. That's right, a dark comedy from 1999. And there's Lion King 2, Simba's Pride, 1998. He was in the Godzilla remake from 1998. It gets a lot of hate, but I kind of like that one. He was in The Cable Guy, 1996. I love that movie. Him and Jim Carrey. And he was in Frasier for an episode, 1995. And of course, there it is, The Lion King, 1994. One of my all-time favorite Disney movies. Aside from Bambi, there's really like no comparison. And let's see, what else is here? I know there's some stuff before that. I'm still waiting for a couple other big ones. There's The Freshman, 1990. Sorry, I lost my cursor for a second. Here we go. What else? There it is. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's probably one of his most famous roles. 1986. Can you believe it? I was 1 year old. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, it looks like his first movie was Max Dugan Returns. Sure. From 1983. And before that, he was in a TV show called Lou Grant. Also, from 1981, and that was one episode. So happy birthday, Matthew Broderick. Let's get your picture back up here. He's very versatile. That's what I like about him. He can do the comedy, but he's also good at the dramatic roles too. Not everyone who can do both like that. They try. Happy birthday, Matthew Broderick.
You look so young in that picture. Right?
Yeah, he looks so young in that picture. Okay, so I just have one death this week. But gotta keep people up to date on what's going on. This week, I want to talk about Jennifer Runyon. Now, you might not recognize her name, but I'm sure you recognize her face. Here's a more recent photo. When I start listing off the movies, you're gonna be like, oh yeah. She was born April 1st, 1960 in Chicago, Illinois. She passed away on March 6th, 2026 at the age of 65 due to a brief battle with cancer. May she rest in peace. Can we please get a moment of silence for Jennifer Runyon? Thank you. After all, she was somebody's daughter, somebody's mom, somebody's sister, someone's wife. Still sad, even if you're not familiar with her name. There's some pictures of some movies, little clues. Here's some things she's most known for. We'll get to those. She was in 36 movies and shows, 36 acting credits. That's pretty good. She worked. She was busy. Her last movie, by the looks of it, was Spectral Squad, The Hunting of Sophie Lawson from 2025. And then she was in Terror Tales in 2019. Silent Night, Bloody Night Revival, 2015. Carnosaur. Oh my God. I didn't even know she was in that, and I grew up watching that. Great creature feature, 1993. Yes, I do. Let's see, what else? There's Till Death Do Us Part, 1992. Oh, she was even in Beverly Hills 90210 for one episode in 1991. And Murder, She Wrote, she was in 2 episodes of that, from 89 to 91. Let's see, what else? Oh, how about that? She was also in Quantum Leap for 2 episodes in 89. Oh, wow. I don't think I've had that before. 2 episodes, well, 2 of the same show. Well, sorry, 2 actors being in the same show in the same episode when doing the birthdays and the deaths.
We don't know if they're the same episode.
No, but they're in the same show.
Yeah.
And I've talked about both the actors in the same episode of my show. You know what I mean? I thought that was cool. I don't think that's happened before. Anyways, moving on. What else is here? She was in A Very Brady Christmas. Wow, 1988. She was in 18 again. I'm guessing that's like 17 again, or 13 going on 30. 1988. She was in Who's the Boss for 1 episode. That's cool. 1987. And Charles in Charge for 18 episodes. Oh, okay. 1984 to 1987.
Yeah.
I think my girlfriend likes that. Sabrina. Yeah, cool. She just nodded yes. She confirmed.
Who's the Boss?
She's in Who's the Boss? Oh, I didn't see that one. I'll go back.
Right
above it. Who's the Boss? 1 episode, 86. Sorry, 87. Oh, that's right above Charles in Charge. Cool. Okay, I don't know how I missed that.
Charles in Charge is on it.
She was also in the original Magnum PI for 1 episode, 87. That's what I mean. She's been in a lot of like iconic things. I haven't even talked about the biggest one yet. Here it is. Speaking of Ghostbusters. She was the student in the beginning that Bill Murray was doing the experiment on with the cards. 1984.
Yeah, she got them all wrong, and he said she got them all right.
Yep, he totally lied. It was a scam, just to talk to her.
Yeah, because they had the hots for her.
Yep. Looks like her first movie was To All a Good Night. That kind of sounds like a Christmas horror movie. Okay. So that was 1980.
Okay.
Oh, and she was in the Fall Guy TV show. Whoa, that's cool. 1983 for 1 episode. Awesome. Good catch.
Thank you.
Okay. So here's her picture. Rest in peace, Jennifer Runyon. It's just good to show your respect and respect for it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this wraps up the birthday and death portion of the show. Let's go back to me. Here we go. No comments. That's cool. Oh, wait, where am I? Here I am. I'm back. Okay, now I'm to present the weekend box office update. There's a lot going on at the box office right now, too, so I'm very excited. Especially since last week I didn't talk about the box office. because I kind of wanted to keep it Friday the 13th. Here we go. That was a special Friday the 13th episode last week. And here we go. Sharing screen. So last week was the 13th to the 15th. And the number one movie was Hoppers. Continuing. 2 weeks in a row. Number one. That's kind of cool. It made $28 million. And it didn't even drop that much. It only dropped 36.8%.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not too shabby. And it's made $86.9 million. Let's put a pin in that. I'll talk about that a little bit later when I get to the international box office. Okay, number two was the premiere of Reminders of Him. It made $17.9 million. It's like the romantic drama about the mom that can't see her kid for some reason. So it's the first week of that. Not bad, though, for its opening weekend. Oh, excuse me. Number three is the Canadian movie Undertone. It made $9 million. It's an A24 movie. It's a horror movie I've been looking forward to. And number four, dropping 2 spots, is Scream 7. It made $85.5 million. But it dropped, 49.9%. Almost half. Like almost exactly half. Ouch. You didn't even lose that many theaters either. So you know what that tells me? It tells me bad word of mouth. People aren't seeing it multiple viewings. And I know I went twice, but I'm sure most people just went to see it once, and then they told the other people, and they're like, "Oh, I'll just wait."
Yeah,
bad word of mouth.
Well, no, not just that. The cost of everything gone sky high. A lot of people are tending to put movies on the back burner because the budget just not there.
Yep.
Sadly.
But so far it's doing well for as far as Scream movies go. I kind of talked about that last time. It made $106.7 million this time, and it's only been out for 3 weeks. So there's still time. This movie might have some legs. And then not last week, but the week before, when I talked about the box office, I mentioned how Scream's a $1 billion franchise now, and that's primarily because of Scream 7, and it's still making good money. So hopefully there's a Scream 8, and hopefully it's better because I wasn't a fan. And number 5, it was okay. There's worse Scream movies, yes, for sure. Okay, anyways, number 5 is Goat. Last week was at number 4. It made $4.6 million. It only dropped 27.8%. That's not too bad. And it's made $90.5 million so far. And it's been out for 5 weeks. So, that's a pretty good haul. I think it's doing pretty well. And number 6, though, is The Bride, dropping 3 spots from last week. It made $2 million, and it dropped.
That's a huge drop.
70.4%. That's a huge drop. Ouch. It's in 3,000 theaters, but it only made $632 per theater. Oh my God, hold on. I'm going to put that in perspective. Look at these other numbers here. See, you can see a huge difference. Damn, and it's only been out for 2 weeks.
That's telling me it's not a very good movie.
No, that's telling me it's not good word of mouth. People aren't seeing it second time, third time. It's only made $11.3 million, so I'm sure it hasn't made its budget back. So, ouch. Number 7 is the re-release of Kiki's Delivery Service. There we go. It made $1.6 million. And it's only in 249 theaters. That's pretty impressive to crack the top 10 like that and get over $1 million, almost 2. So that's cool. Good for them. That's a good movie, by the way. You should see it. I haven't seen it in theaters. That'd be awesome. And number 8 is Wuthering Heights. It was at number 5 last week. It dropped 3 spots. It made $1.6 million. Ooh, 55.1% drop. Ooh. But it did lose a significant amount of theaters, 611. And it's been out for 5 weeks too, so movies do lose steam over time. So that's not too bad actually when you put that in perspective. Not like The Bride or Scream 7. Look at that, that's huge. But anyways, Wuthering Heights made $81.9 million. So I think it's gonna make its money back if it hasn't already. Not bad. That's one I have yet to see, but I will. And number 9, hell yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze. That's like my childhood. I'm so glad they released that. I might even cover it on my channel later on. Okay, $1.4 million for its opening week. That's awesome. That makes me very happy. People love Ninja Turtles, and so do I. And number 10, rounding out the top 10, is Crime 101. That's the new Chris Hemsworth movie, I think. It's a heist flick. It was at number 6 last week. It made $1.1 million. Dropped 43%. Yeah, not too bad, but it's been out for 5 weeks. So again, things do lose steam over time. And it's an Amazon movie, so if you haven't seen it yet, I'm sure it's going to be streaming soon. Rounding out the honorable mentions is I Can Only Imagine 2. It made $743,000. It's been out for 4 weeks. It's made $17.6 million so far. And number 12 is the concert film Epic, Elvis Presley in Concert. It made $741,000. And it dropped 51.9. But again, 4 weeks out. Same with that one. It made $12.5 million. Number 13 is Send Help, dropping significantly. Wow, it was at 8 last week. It only made $723,000 this week. Ooh, oh, that's why it's losing so many theaters. It lost, almost half its theaters. But then again, it's been out for 7 weeks, so they're trying to make room for other things as new things get released. But still, it's made $64 million, not thousand. That'd be terrible. So that's a pretty good haul. Number 14 is Slanted. I think that's the new Jason Statham movie. Hold on. Let me just see what this is. No, not. That's totally different. An insecure American Chinese teenager undergoes experimental surgery to appear white, hoping to secure prom queen title and peer acceptance. Okay, then. That one made $625,000. This is the first week it's been out. It's only in 588 theaters, though, so you do have to take that into consideration. So that's pretty good. And then rounding out the list is Avatar 3, Fire and Ash. It was number 12 last week, so it keeps on dropping. It only made $483,000 this week. The drop's not too bad. And it's made $403 million so far, but it's been out for 13 weeks, so this one probably won't be in theaters for much longer. So this wraps up the domestic weekend box office. Let's take a look at worldwide. So these are the highest grossing movies of the year so far around the world. The ones I was looking at before was just, I think it was just America. It might be North America. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's just America, but don't quote me on that. Anyways, the number 1 movie, according to Box Office Mojo, is Pegasus 3. That's a Chinese movie. It made $599.2 million so far. So China might have another billion-dollar movie on their hands, like last year with Ne Zha 2. At number 2 was Wuthering Heights. That's what I mean. This one's doing really well around the world. People love it. This is the kind of thing, too. It's one of those classic novels, so each generation has their own version of it. And I've heard good things about it, so I'm glad we got a good version for this generation. It made $230.9 million around the world so far. Number 3 is Hoppers, doing very well for Pixar. It made $185.8 million so far. And that makes me really happy after seeing that Elio was such a flop. because that wasn't advertised the same. This was all over the place. But I don't know if this didn't have faith in Elio, I guess. So I'm very happy that an original Pixar movie is doing so well at the box office. Hopefully they get the right message. It's all about the story. Number 4 is Scream 7. This is what I want to talk about before I put a pin in it. Taking the pin out. I think that's how that works. And anyways, it made $178.6 million around the world so far. That's incredible. That's the highest grossing Scream movie out of the whole franchise. Number 5 is Blades of the Guardians. It made $168.4 million so far. And number 6 is Goat, doing very well. It made $167.3 million so far. At number 7 is Scare Out with $160 million around the world. And number 8 is Boonie Bears, The Hidden Protector. Sure. It made $139.3 million so far. Number 10 is Send Help. That's awesome. $93.7 million so far. I didn't end up catching this one when it was still in theaters, so I'll do an episode about that one shortly. At number 10 is The Man Who Lives with the King at $89.7 million around the world. And rounding out the honorable mentions, the bottom 15, we have Crime 101 holding on strong, $70.4 million for around the world. Oops, sorry. At number 12, we have 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple at $58.4 million so far. That's what it says. At number 13 is Mercy, the Chris Pratt movie, $54.5 million. At number 14, hanging in there, Iron Lung, the independent Markiplier movie, $49.9 million. Good for him. He made that movie on his own. He had to fund it by himself, basically. I think he was crowdfunded too, but my point is he was completely independent when he made it. And it's making bank. And number 15, also hanging in strong, Return to Silent Hill. They made $47.3 million around the world. So that about wraps up the weekend box office update. Where am I? Here I am. Hold on. Where am I? Here I am. I'm back. Okay, so I'll do that right now. Okay, cool. So let's get to this week's review, shall we? I'm going to talk about Solo Mio. Yeah, I'm going to keep it spoiler free. I'm going to keep it pretty general. I don't want to ruin this movie for anybody. It's still pretty new. I'm not sure if it's still in the theaters, but when it does get distributed, I do highly recommend it.
Don't we need that book for the
So let's just get to the review, shall we? Let's get to the poster. Let's share the screen again. And yes, I have to talk myself through it. I'll forget stuff. And then I have to re-say things because it just goes blank on your end. So let's go back to IMDb. Now, this movie might not be as well known, but I have mentioned it on the show before in like the box office updates. I didn't see it on this weekend box office update though, so unfortunately, it's out of the running. Well, it's probably just lower on the list, but still, it makes the top 15. Go away, not sponsored. Okay, so actually, before I get to the poster, hold on, get ahead of myself. What's this movie about? Well, I'll tell you. Go away, not sponsored. Left heartbroken in Rome after a wedding disaster, a stranded groom finds his ruined honeymoon transformed by a determined local and a few meddling travelers, proving that sometimes heartbreak is only the beginning. Here is the poster. Now, don't let this fool you. It might be from Angel Studios, but this is not a religious movie. They didn't produce the movie; they just distributed it. Huge difference. So, Solo Mio was directed by Charles Kinane. Sorry if I butchered that. And it was written by Patrick Kinane and John Kinane. It stars Kevin James, Kim Coates, and Allison Hannigan. I couldn't find a budget for this movie, but it did make a worldwide gross of $25.8 million. I do like this poster too. And it's a classic directing technique that I'll talk about a little bit later too when I get more into the review. But I like how it's just him by himself in this big open space. And you can see this beautiful backdrop behind him. So just based off the synopsis, you see there's that contrast. He feels sad, but it's this beautiful scenario. So that's kind of cool, like graphic design right there. And the contrast too, because he's in the black, right? So he stands out. He's got the white flowers. There's different versions of the poster, though. The one that I used for my collage, she's got red flowers and it's red words, but still, it works either way. People just like playing with colors. Go, let's get my notes up. Okay, so according to IMDb, because I looked into it, there's actually 8 different Kinane brothers that worked on this movie together. So I thought that was pretty cool. It was a whole family affair. The backdrop of Rome and Tuscany is stunning. I love the cinematography. And this was sort of what I was talking about with the poster just now. Because beyond this beautiful postcard appeal, it features vibrant shots of historic streets, piazzas, and landmarks well known in Italy. You know, like there's the Spanish Steps and then there's the Colosseum. Instantly recognizable. And they're all enhanced by these bright, natural, saturated colors. And because it's natural lighting that they use, a lot of this is shot outside. That's cool too, because they actually went and shot on location in Italy too. Like there's no bad green screens or anything like that. You could tell they were there. But yeah, these visuals quickly establish a hopeful and escapist mood, enhancing the romanticized tone with cinematic wide shots, effectively showcasing immersive cityscapes and gorgeous green countrysides. But the emphasis is kind of put on style over substance because a lot of the times there's so much focus on Italy, it kind of feels like a huge tourism ad, and then it's like, oh yeah, this was a movie. So yeah, it just kind of feels more like a tourism ad than a movie to me. So sometimes it's like, oh yeah, Italy, stuff happens. Italy, stuff happens. But yeah, so what I was talking about before with the poster, there's that strong contrast between sorrow and setting. The heartbroken protagonist is framed against serene, picturesque environments. The use of the location as emotional opposition really does highlight his isolation. It's just a subtle little camera trick that they do, and I love it. They got lots of wide shots with negative space to emphasize the loneliness. And the best example I can think of is that shot of Kevin James sitting on the Spanish Steps while the camera is slowly panning out. You can see there's other people around him, but he still feels isolated. And I love how you don't need any dialogue or anything to address that. You can just see it and you get it. That shared framing reflects, oh, sorry, as relationships develop, there's more shared framing. And that shared framing reflects growing development and connection to the characters around him. So it starts off he's by himself. And as the movie goes on, I noticed more of the shot compositions, he's in it with more people around him. It's pretty cool. Again, little subtle details that I noticed that I love. It's just very effective visual storytelling. So I mentioned some of the writers. There's three other brothers there. Yeah, three. Okay, cool. For sure, I counted that right. No, sorry, just two brothers because Kevin James isn't their brother. Okay, cool. Yeah. Some of the other brothers, they worked as either producers or they were editors on the film too. If you're curious what they were doing, because I didn't really say their names. All that said on IMDb was they're editors and they were producers. But that's cool. They all work together. Producers still put their input in on the film sometimes. But the script mostly focuses on personal growth and connection through familiar rom com cliches. Some of them work well, some of them not so much. Some of these familiar cliches that I'm referring to are the left at the altar setup, which I thought was more effective in movies like Runaway Bride or The Wedding Singer. It's good here, but there's ways it could have been handled a little bit better because they kind of skip over the relationship. It kind of shows what they were like beforehand in montages, kind of like how they did in Up, but it's not as meaningful and it's a little more rushed than that. And this isn't about them spending their entire life together. It talks about their marriage, sorry, their relationship that led up to the proposal because he wants to marry her. And it's really cute too what they do. I don't want to spoil anything. All I'll say is he's a teacher and he gets his class involved and how he proposes. It's a cute, fun idea. I love how this movie starts. It got me hooked. But some of the cliches that they talk about in this movie is the self-discovery journey. And then there's the magical foreign romance cliche. That's kind of sparked by him going on his honeymoon by himself. Which is a spoiler. I mean, this is all the beginning of the movie. Later on, I might get into stuff that might be a little more spoilery, but I'll warn you. I'll let you know. Some of the cliches that I noticed, though, are the emotional rebound connections. And then it's lightly explored, but it also kind of touches on the loving yourself first before loving somebody else cliche. And then there's the classic fish out of water comedy that mainly drives the comedy in the movie, too. But it's all just kind of surface level. They don't go too much into it. So some of them work, some of them don't. I did find the pacing to be a tad uneven, though. Actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I want to show off some of these pictures of Italy because it is gorgeous. So let's go back a bit. And then I'll talk about the pacing. Let's put a pin in that. Go away. Not sponsored. Okay. Because there's not even very many photos. Oh, there's not very many photos at all. Huh. Okay. So this is going to be quick. There's that one. That's all the photos you got? Okay. Trying to think of it. When I did my collage, I think I did pull them mostly offline. Okay. Oh, well. I tried. Oh, almost screwed that up. Let's just go back. Back to the poster. Maybe I can get away with showing a few of the clips. I don't know.
I want to push it.
I don't want to push it too much. Copyright claims and all. Okay, back to the poster. Cool. We'll just move on. Actually, hold on. Is there any comments or anything first?
Just me.
Oh, Sabrina has a comment. Hold on. Let's see what this says. Have you seen Solo Mio yet? What did you think of it? Let us know in the comments and we can talk about it. Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ooh, share the screen first. I almost screwed that up. There we go. Okay. So yeah, like I was saying about the pasting, I did find it a tad uneven because it starts off really strong and then it kind of meanders in the middle. And I feel like the ending was rushed. Like they spent a long time just looking at stuff in Italy. You know what I mean? That's why the advertisement thing comes from. And then they have your travel hijinks. And you have your moments of introspection in between those. So a lot of that really slows down the plot momentum. You know what I mean? And then there's a lot of like sitcom like moments that feel way too coincidental. For example, there's a subplot involving Gia's family. That's Kevin James's love interest. I'll get a little bit more into the characters later. But it feels like this whole scene just primarily exists to feature a surprise musical guest cameo. And there's another scene, well, another subplot with Gia that involves a horse race or something. But it adds little to nothing to the story. So that's what I mean by that. The sitcom-like moments that feel coincidental. Like, oh yeah, my family just happens to live in the country. And, oh, this singer's here. Wow, who knew? It just, yeah, it seems like gimmicky. But anyways, the humor leans more on dialogue than it does broad slapstick, which I really do appreciate. I love snappy dialogue. So it's the kind of movie you can rewatch and you'll notice things people say that you may not notice the first time. I love that. But yeah, one of my biggest problems is that the side characters, they have subplots, but a lot of them just don't go anywhere. And there's more than what each character has their own kind of subplot, not just Gia. It's mentioned just to get a little bit of character backstory, get a sense of who they are, but we don't get to know who they are throughout the movie. Their relationships don't get explored very much. It just focuses on Kevin James and Gia. I do like how the plot provides contrast to the protagonist's innocence and the romantic optimism. This adds a lot of that comic energy between the two characters because there's moments that fish out of water moment, like I was talking about. He's doesn't know Italian at all, right? So he's trying to learn the language. She's trying to teach him the language. It's just there's some funny moments. But I mean, he's innocent and he's still kind of optimistic about finding love. So the jokes are enjoyable in moderation, but they serve comedy more than character development. And by that, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of funny moments, but it doesn't really have anything to do with who the characters are or what they're all about. We don't really know anything about these characters besides the few things that were told. So I don't know. They could have went a little deeper. I do appreciate the layered title. I can't read tonight. Sorry. I appreciate the title's layered meaning because Solo Mio roughly translates to only mine. So this could reflect both the protagonist's solitude and his personal journey. So Kevin James plays Matt, He's charming and relatable, and he shows more emotional depth than he has in other roles. His typical roles are just like the comic sidekick. So it's cool that he's the lead role, and it's cool that he's taken more seriously this time. It kind of reminded me of his role in Hitch. Just to give you an idea of the kind of performance he gives. His vulnerability and portrayal of heartbreak make him particularly engaging. One thing I like too is how it shows how he was alone at the altar too, but this is primarily from his perspective. It's his heartbreak. Most movies would focus on the woman, you know what I mean? So you don't see that too often. It's kind of like The Wedding Singer. So it's kind of cool. It's a different way of looking at things. It's a new angle. Well, not new angle, but you know what I mean. Different. Usually it's about the girl, but this time it's about the guy. Okay, I'm struggling with this name. Sorry, Nicole Grimaudo. Grimaudo. Sorry if I butchered that. I don't speak Italian. She plays Gia. She's the primary love interest in this one. And again, according to IMDb, she was learning English phonetically while on set with a translator as she was filming the movie. She didn't know English when she was hired on for the role. Well, that right there shows a lot of dedication. I love that. And she still delivers snappy, charismatic dialogue while staying emotionally grounded. That makes her humor feel more natural. And she's so dynamic on screen. Like it's fun watching her. She was a very good actress. I don't think I've seen her before in anything else before, and I was impressed. She was good. She was suited the role nicely. Because not only is she funny, but her dramatic moments are restrained. Some people, when it's their first movie or it's like second or third movie, they still want to go over the top. They're trying to act too much, if that makes sense, and they end up overacting. She doesn't do that. And the chemistry between James and her feels more believable than most rom coms nowadays. The relationship is layered, it's complicated, and I like how it's not so black and white because he's got some secrets he's holding on to. Without saying too much, she has secrets too. And when everything gets revealed, yeah, it does have the layered reveal story that I hate. That's in practically every movie that we see because I guess nobody can have an original thought. The way they handle it is a lot different than most movies do it. I appreciate the way they do it because they don't spend a lot of time on it. But again, and the way they do it, like all of a sudden it just happens and it's like, whoa, I wasn't expecting it to go that way. But again, spoiler free. I'm not saying too much about that part. It's just nice to see people trying to approach things differently. So both the characters end up cautiously opening up to each other while maintaining a safe distance. And their emotional insecurities provide a subtle subversion of those typical rom com formulas that I was talking about. Kim Coates plays Julian. He's the comic relief, and he's a caricature of male cynicism. He's hilarious because he provides humor and a perspective on romantic misadventures. And that contrasts Matt's naive approach to love. He's got this rapid fire dialogue, always delivering advice, and he has this natural charisma. And that makes him the highlight of the film. I love Kim Coates in this movie. He's so funny. So if you didn't have a reason to watch this movie before, you do now. Kim Coates. Although it could be seen that his been there, done that wisdom could be seen as formulaic. And he doesn't really have a personal arc himself. Like there's no growth. And he's got this backstory where he's divorced his wife 3 times and he married her again. So I was curious, like, what's that story? But no, they don't really get into it. That's what I mean by stuff is just kind of surface level. It's mentioned and then they move on. So as far as that goes, it left more to be desired. You know what I mean? Allison Hannigan plays Megan, and she's Julian's wife, Kim Coates' wife. She brings her usual chipper, optimistic charm to the role, but she's severely underutilized. So there's not very much time devoted to developing her character. Like she's barely in it, and I was disappointed because I didn't know she was in it. And then I saw her name in the credits, and I got all excited because I grew up watching American Pie and stuff like that, and Buffy. And then it turns out, yeah, she's in it, but not as much. So again, more to be desired. Jonathan Rooney, sorry if I butchered that, plays Neil. He's the typical shy, indecisive sidekick. His role mainly provides awkward commentary on Matt's mistakes, but again, there's not much depth to him or his relationship with his wife. All these people are all on this honeymoon trip, like together. They're strangers, but they all paid for the same honeymoon package. So that's how they all met. So his own romantic life, well, he was with his like ex-therapist and then they got married. So there's a lot like of questions with that too. But again, they don't really go into it. And it's like, why come up with all these creative, clever like backstories and not talk about it? It's just kind of frustrating. There's just a lot of wasted potential. His performance is competent, but unfortunately, because his character has limited screen time again, it's not very memorable. The same goes with his wife, Donna, who's played by Julie Serta. Again, sorry if I butchered these names, but yeah, she plays the former therapist. And she's the cliche girl boss, domineering, dismissive of men kind of person. And she's so emotionally detached that it's hard to even like her character. And her ambivalence toward Neil is such a clinical view on like love and relationships and like what a husband should be that you even question why are these two even together at all. But again, they don't go into it, they don't explain anything, they're just kind of there. And then Julie Ann Emery plays Heather. That's Matt's fiance, the one that left him at the altar. There's not a whole lot of characters in this movie, and I appreciate a small ensemble cast, especially when they work well together, because together they are funny. I just wish we had more time with them, like as couples. You know what I mean? But anyways, Heather, again, played by Julie Ann Emery. And sorry if I butchered your names. Anybody? Although she has minimal screen time, her actions drive the story's central plot. And she delivers a strong, dramatic performance with those brief scenes. She left an impact. Well, for me at least. I thought she was great. She had just enough screen time. She wasn't shortchanged like some of these other people were. Let me just check to see if there's any comments or anything. No, no other comments. Okay. Let's get to me. Put this down here. Okay. So, overall, this flick doesn't shoot for the moon, honey. The film follows a familiar rom com formula, but it feels fresh, because it's from a middle-aged groom's perspective who's sort of having a love midlife crisis, if that makes sense. Not necessarily a midlife crisis, but he's really questioning his love life and the choices about love and what's he going to do next? What's the next step, kind of thing. And I do like how it focuses more on his romantic embarrassment and how it focuses on him as the main character instead of the typical it always being about women in rom-coms too, because you don't see too many rom-coms that are about men. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is The Wedding Singer. So leave comments below about rom-coms about men, like where men are the main characters, and we can talk about that too, because I'm sure there's more than that. But the fact that I can only list one says a lot. Because I have other movies that are like this movie, but the man's not really the main character. I guess one of them is. I'll get to that soon. But yeah, it's nice to see a new angle. Makes it more relatable for men too when it's like that. And while it's a smaller scale movie, it emphasizes character growth and emotional arcs. Although the plot does meander with these unnecessary subplots. And some of the relationships develop unrealistically fast. Like these people are all strangers, but they're all acting like they're best friends. Excuse me, they're all acting like they're best friends with each other. They've known each other for a long time. They just have that kind of rapport, and it doesn't seem organic or natural, if you will. And the ending is rushed, so that undercut the emotional impact too. I'm not going to say too much. This might be sort of spoilery, so you can kind of skip ahead. You've been warned. But, something happens, and they've only known each other for like a few days like that. Okay, so I guess this is a spoiler. So, because I have to talk about this, because this really bothered me. They've only known each other for like a week or something like that. And then by the end of the movie, skip ahead. 3, 2, 1. Okay, by the end of the movie, by the end of the movie, they end up getting married. So it's like you couldn't have a little montage that said like 3 years later or something like that. And then they have spent some time together, and then the relationship grows some more. So I just thought that was way too fast. Like you don't know somebody for a week and then marry them. Like that seems really unrealistic in my opinion.
You've been together
Spoiler.
4 years and you're not even engaged.
Yeah, some people are engaged for years and they're still not, well, not engaged, but some people are a couple for years and they're still not engaged yet. That's my point. So that whole aspect of it, I just thought was really unrealistic. So that's what I was talking about by spoiler. But aside from that, I thought it was pretty good. Like it's got its issues, but it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed it. I can see myself watching it again. I've already seen it twice, so
I'd watch it again.
it's one of those rewatchable movies. It's pretty good, pretty good. I don't hate this movie. I know everybody's talking a lot of crap about it. It does have its moments, and I do want to highlight the humor and the perspective of it all because I thought that was really cool. Those are the two things that stand out. Sure, not all the humor works, but most of it does, and I laughed out loud a lot in this movie. Another unnecessary subplot is this woman named like Bianca or something like that who keeps running into Kevin James at the bar, and she ends up punching him out because she thought they were together or something, but he's spending time with Gia. So that's what I mean. There's these sitcom like subplots that don't go anywhere. Oh, but some of the stuff is pretty funny. The whole thing kind of feels like a fairy tale, even though it lacks that emotional impact. Like this movie did make me cry, and I usually cry in movies, so that's something too. It didn't get me emotionally. Maybe it'll get you though, because it really does handle pain alongside genuine joy effectively. You see his sorrow. This movie does get depressing sometimes, but then there's that flip side where his spirits get risen up, and then he does have this happy fairy tale ending that I just talked about. So I do think that's cool. I don't think there's enough modern day fairy tales. So when you look at it like that, a lot of these things I was talking about are more forgivable. So if you're fans of movies like Under the Tuscan Sun, Leap Year, Blended, which Granted, I think that movie is more Adam Sandler's movie. That's another movie that's a rom-com. That's oh yeah, and then there's of course 51st Dates, but I don't know. That's more Drew Barrymore's movie because of her condition. That's what I mean. There's not that many rom-coms about men, so it's nice to see. And then there's The Lost City. If you like movies like that, you'll probably like this. Even if it doesn't fully reach that emotional potential that I think it could have hit so much harder. But that's okay. It's still pretty good. My official grade for Solo Mio is medium popcorn. So, I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. That's all I have for you tonight. If you've seen Solo Mio, like Sabrina says down here in the comments, please comment below yourself, and we can talk about it too in the future. So, make sure you stay tuned next week, because next week is going to be horror week. I haven't quite decided. There's a few options that I have, so stay tuned for that. If you're into horror, I talk about horror every other week. If you're not into horror, those other weeks I talk about all kinds of genres. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, please like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell too, so you can get notified on what's coming up in the future. But that's all I have for you this week. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, 10:30 p.m. That's the new time. I think I mentioned that last week, but I'll mention that one more time. 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, y'all. Oh, okay. Take two.
So, until next time.
I'll see you at the movies.
Have a great day. Did you know that I'm a film critic for HorrorBuzz.com? You can read my reviews on their website, and I make frequent appearances on their YouTube channel, HorrorBuzz Live. So I'll leave links below for that too.
Remember, this book is great if you love rom-coms or Italy. And I might seem harsh, but I just call them like I see them. I'll show myself out. Good night.